Alright, so I'm gonna do another album review. So I'm gonna be reviewing Hello Fascination by Brave Carolina. So let's get into this. So the song was released in 2009 by Brave Carolina, which are an electropop duo. Yeah. Anyway, so this album has a basically like a very unique combination of like electro pop, electronic core, emo, electronic rock, stuff like that. So yeah. Anyways, this is this album is in my opinion uh probably my second favorite electronic album behind Dance or Die by Family Force 5. So yeah, but this album goes hard as crap. Like the electronics on this album are amazing and stuff. And pretty much is the pinnacle for like what electronic music should sound like and stuff. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I think David's vocals are really great. Kyle's vocals are also really good as well. Yeah. I don't really know what the meanings of these songs are, but well, the the song I have to go return some videotapes. The title comes from American Psycho, where Patrick Bateman says that he has to return some videotapes every time to get out of a situation and stuff like that. And yeah, oh, Fascination. The electronics on that album go hard. Like honestly, like they're really good, and yeah, the guitars are great as well. So yeah. Anyways, yeah. So a lot of people kind of well, outside of radio music, kind of label this as like crunkcore. Which in my personal opinion, I don't think it is actually. It's like, I mean, crunkcore. I mean, this album has a very similar sound to that, but it's not quite crunkcore. It's more electronic core than that. Um, Even though it's not entirely. I mean, there's guitars in it, but it's not fully guitar driven and stuff like that. Um, so yeah, but yeah. I mean, the closest that Brave Carolina's ever gotten to crunkcore is well, the only time that Brave Carolina's ever done crunkcore is on their debut album and EP, Gossip, and It's Classy Not Classic. So Hello Fascination, on the other hand, is not that at all. Yes, Hello Fascination has some autotune. Yes, it has synths. Yes, it has screaming, but it has no. But it doesn't have like rapping in it. It does not have like crunk beats and stuff. I mean, at least like It's Classy Not Classic and Gossip had some crunk beats in it and stuff. But for the most part, this album and pretty much Brave Carolina as a whole is not crunkcore and stuff. So yeah. Anyways, I think IDGAF is also another great song. I think this was kind of the first one I ever heard from Brave Carolina. Well, I don't really know if it truly is. I mean, I don't know. I've done when I would do tier lists, I would listen to certain artists' music and stuff. Oh, yeah. I don't know if Brave Carolina was one of them. So, yeah. On one of the tier lists I did before I actually started getting into them, but yeah. But yeah. I would say my least favorite song from here has to be My Obsession. Because I don't know, I just don't think it's as good or as entertaining as any of like the other songs and stuff. It's still a good song, don't get me wrong, but it's not as good as like, any of these other ones and stuff like that. Yeah. Um, Rescue, which is the last song on the album, has a very different sound compared to the rest of the album. It has a very like art rock or art pop, indie-tronic rock pop sound to it. So yeah. Um, but anyways, yeah. So this album is literally a freaking banger, man. It is amazing. Yeah. Oh, and Tripped and Film Portland is probably the most metalcore sounding song on the album. And it also gives me an anime feel as well. Like I can imagine this being like the opening to an anime and stuff. So, yeah. Anyways, so yeah. Overall, this album I really recommend you check it out. And pretty much Brief Carolina as a whole, I'd recommend checking out. Well, up to like Hell Is What You Make It. Not really anything after Dead the Album or Savages. I think that's what it's called. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, I would just recommend sticking with everything from like Gossip to Hell Is What You Make It, because I don't know. I'm not. I mean, don't get me wrong. Brief Carolina's stuff from Savages, Dead the Album, and everything afterwards, I think is good. But it's not really something I choose to like listen to again. So I don't know. I just prefer the old Brief Carolina rather than the new. Which yeah, for reference, Brief Carolina became EDM DJs back in 2014. And stuff. So yeah. Which I mean, that's fine if they want to do like EDM music and stuff like that, but I pretty much just prefer the old Brief Carolina. Like it's like I love the aggressive screamy. Oh, I love the aggressive screamo electronic stuff over the EDM stuff. Um. So yeah. Which I mean that's kind of the case with like Family Force 5 as well. Is that they pretty much like, I don't want to say they became EDM DJs as well, but well, I mean they definitely well, the music they put out like after like Time Stand Still is not really as good. Honestly, I don't really listen to Time Stand Still very much. And stuff. I think it's a great album regardless, but yeah. I prefer, I just mostly stick with like Business Up Front, Party Back, and Dance or Die. Although I like to listen to some songs off of Free, and I like to listen to Berserk sometimes. So yeah, but anyways, actually, yeah, I wish this is one of those albums I really wish we could have seen Brad Tasting Music react to, but I highly doubt that's gonna happen now after the situation that happened recently. Which yeah, which I guess for reference, an audio tape of Brad screaming at his fiance surfaced, and I was hesitant to listen to it because honestly I was kind of afraid too, because I don't really like disturbing audio clips and stuff like that. But then yesterday I finally decided to listen to it, like 30 seconds of it, and yeah, that was pretty bad. yeah, and apparently that's not the only time it's happened. Apparently, according to Tina, apparently Brad's done that for like pretty much their entire relationship, I guess. So yeah, it's jacked up, man. Um, but yeah, like I'm not gonna come on here and say, "Oh, F Bradley, I hope he rots in you know where," and stuff like that, because I don't know. Like I'm a Christian, I don't usually like to respond to things like that. Like, I'm not. It doesn't mean I'm defending what Brad did. I don't. I don't support flipping. He verbally abused his wife, and that was that's extremely wrong and stuff. And I'm not gonna support flipping. I'm not gonna defend or support that. I may support a lot of things, but I don't support verbal abuse. So yeah. Um. But yeah. Which if y'all have never heard the audio clip before, only do it if you want to, okay? And don't do it if you're like sensitive to yelling and stuff like that, because yeah, that's not gonna be fun for you, man. So yeah, and yeah, he sounded genuinely angry in that. Like, honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if he actually killed Tina, because like he sounded that angry. Like, I don't know, like, I mean, in terms of like tone and stuff and yelling and stuff like that, like compared to like Putz 12 or Delore, or no Deller, I think actually how you say it. They sounded angry. No, that when they would like rage at games, they sounded angry, pretty darn angry and stuff like that. But I mean, they were only yelling because they were just losing at the game and stuff. Brad was just putting all the blame on Tina and stuff like that. And yeah, so in his case, so in the three of their cases, I think Brad's pretty much the worst. So yeah, I get mad at when playing video games too. So yeah, so yeah, but like all I'm really hoping for is that Brad like learns from his mistakes and flipping like actually gets professional help, because he flipping needs it, man. And yeah, and honestly, even if he does, I don't think he should be in another relationship. So yeah, you know, and I'm gonna be wishing for Tina to hopefully recover from the trauma that she faced from Brad. So yeah. Anyways, but back overall, this album, I really really enjoy it. So yeah, I give it a 10 out of 10. Best songs from the album would have to be I Have to Go Return Some Videotapes, Hello Fascination, and IDGAF. Worst ones, My Obsession, Take Me to Infinity, and Rescue. So, yeah. Anyway, so I'll leave a link to the album in the description if you want to check it out. And, yeah, so hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all in the next video.